I asked my boyfriend of 5 months what my middle name was, and when he stared at me in blank silence, I realized he did not actually know a single thing about me. Plus one update by user Purple Kangaroo. Hi everyone. I am posting this because I genuinely want to know if I overreacted or if this is actually weird. I, a 25-year-old female, have been dating my boyfriend, a 25-year-old male, for about 5 months. Overall, the relationship felt good. We spent a lot of time together, went on trips, and things seemed pretty serious. And I have already met his parents and extended family multiple times. He has not met mine yet, but they live states away, so that is understandable. However, I had started to have this sneaking feeling come up every once in a while where I realized he might not actually know that much about me. Like something would come up in my life, or I would be talking with friends about a story from my past, and I would think, wow, he has never even asked me about that. Things like my childhood, what my family dynamic is like, details about my work, or even the summer I spent living in another state for an internship. None of those things had really come up because he had asked about them. At the time, I kind of brushed it off. I figured maybe we just had not gotten around to those conversations yet. Maybe a little more context for how I found this out. Should I have talked to him about this in a different situation? Probably. But whatever, it is too late now. We were out at a bar with friends, and we were definitely quite a few drinks in. At one point, we called an Uber to go home. And when it asked for the drop-off address, he could not remember my address. This was a little weird because he had been to my apartment a lot and had literally put my address into his maps multiple times before. But hey, it is not a super memorable number, so I brushed it off. While we were outside waiting for the Uber though, something just came over me. Yes, alcohol was definitely involved, but I suddenly got curious and asked him if he knew my middle name. Silence. So then I asked if he knew my parents' names. Nothing. Where I was born. Nothing. What I majored in college. Nothing. At this point, I was kind of half laughing, half horrified. So I kept going, trying to think of other questions like if he knew my family cat's name, literally grasping for straws. He is a self-proclaimed cat person. Still nothing. Meanwhile, I knew the answers to all of those things, no matter how intoxicated. I know a lot about him. Stories about his childhood, how his parents met, things from college, his favorite foods and desserts, etc. I am actually the kind of person who keeps a note in my phone with little things about people I care about so I remember them later. Like what he likes to order at different restaurants, random facts about his childhood, even what he wanted to be when he grew up. I was never expecting him to get every answer correct on my quiz, but not one. Realizing he did not know any of those basic things about me felt kind of shocking. And that is when it really hit me that my boyfriend of several months might not actually know much about me at all. And naturally, I started sobbing on the sidewalk outside the bar. We eventually went home, and I tried to explain why it upset me so much. I told him it made me feel invisible, like I could basically be swapped in for any other girl. He did apologize for forgetting those things, but he did not really seem to understand why it was such a big deal. He mostly just kept saying he was drunk and that he would not forget again. What hurt the most though was that in that moment, he did not really try to comfort me either. At the bar or at home, he did not hug me or reassure me. And he did not say things he did know about me to show that I mattered to him. Meanwhile, I was just crying and really emotional. And he ended up falling asleep while I was still crying. Now it has been a couple days and I am honestly not even sure if I can get over it. So I am curious what people think. Is it weird that my boyfriend of 5 months did not know these things about me? Or did I massively overreact because alcohol and emotions were involved?
Okay, let's pause the story right here for a second. It is absolutely wild to date someone for almost half a year, meet their extended family, and not even know their major or where they were born. Being under the influence is an excuse for stumbling over your words, but it is not an excuse for completely failing to absorb basic facts about the person you claim to care about. Before we get to the explosive update, Opie dropped some crazy context in the comments.
Those are all things we have absolutely talked about before. I actually have his middle name written down in my notes along with the story behind why he was named that. He has met my parents over FaceTime before, and technically my family cat too, although that one was kind of a long shot question anyway. I am in grad school and talk about my research pretty often, so even if he did not remember exactly what I majored in, he probably could have at least ballpark guessed it. and where I was born and how my parents met are stories that have definitely come up multiple times as well. Update. 3 days later. First, thank you to everyone who commented on my last post. Most of the responses were incredibly kind and thoughtful, and I really appreciated getting other people's perspectives. And to the handful who were very concerned about the fact that a 25-year-old girl cried at a bar after a few drinks, God forbid. #sue me. Yes, this whole thing was incredibly poor timing and I could have handled it better. And yes, it is entirely possible he was just drunk and overwhelmed in the moment. While all those things have definitely come up in conversation multiple times before, I have realized this was never really about my middle name, which the initial is literally in my Instagram username, but I digress. It was more symbolic of a larger issue and forced me to confront something I had been feeling for a while and been too scared to bring up. A lot of our conversation stayed in the present and did not really involve many follow-up questions. Over time, that started to bug me because I am a very extroverted person and I literally could yap all day. But people only really get to know you when they're curious enough to ask. After that night, we did have a serious, calm conversation about it, while sober. He apologized for forgetting those things and said he froze in the moment and did not know what to do when I was crying, which confused me because my instinct in that situation would probably be to comfort my partner. What I tried so hard to express is that I want to feel known by the person I am dating. I want him to be curious about my life, remember things that matter to me, and have the emotional awareness to comfort me in difficult situations. Apparently, those were crazy asks, and ultimately, we ended up breaking up. The conversation never really felt fully resolved, and we were just going in circles without real understanding. He later texted me saying he felt like he was a major issue, thought I was amazing, and wished he could be more for me, but did not think he was capable of being the partner I needed. I guess the problem just solved itself. I think more generally, he was far out of his emotional depth, and we have very different ideas about what it means to truly know and show up for a partner. It is definitely still hard reconciling the relationship I thought I was in with the one I may have actually been in. I do think he is a good guy, and in some ways I do believe he cared about me, but I realized that feeling truly seen and understood by your partner matters a lot to me. In hindsight, there were probably also small yellow flags I should have noticed too, like when he wrote in my Valentine's Day card that he was so grateful for all that I do for him. Reading your responses helped solidify what I was already feeling and quiet some of the self-doubt I had. It is definitely for the best, but I am still processing everything, so I would appreciate kind and insightful comments rather than comments telling me I was just a placeholder for him. Thanks, guys.
Here is what people had to say. Commenter 1. Ask him if knows who broke up with him today. The family cat, whose name he forgot. Commenter 2. I saw a reel that said to love is to forever be curious. My parents still ask each other stupid stuff. It's not about memorizing facts, but learning another person. Commenter 3. He liked having a girlfriend. Didn't matter who the girl was. He just liked having a girlfriend. Really just a girl, not even a friend.
Honestly, here is my final take on this whole mess. This guy did not want a partner with a unique personality and history. He just wanted a warm body to play the role of girlfriend in his life. The Valentine's Day card, where he only thanked her for what she did for him, tells you everything you need to know about his transactional, self-centered mindset. True intimacy isn't just about spending time together. It's about having genuine, active curiosity about your partner's inner world. Opie realized her absolute worth, ripped off the Band-Aid early, and dodged a lifetime of feeling completely invisible. Subscribe for more daily Reddit stories. If you tested your partner right now, what is the one incredibly obvious fact about you that you think they would completely fail to remember?